things, but if somebody wanted to say something, you could say, well, here's my certificate, and you cannot come at me, basically.
Y'all, it is cold out here. Feels like a fall day. Burr. So I know a lot of you all are covered in snow right now. We had some snow flurries come down. Just because we haven't had the snow doesn't mean we ain't getting the cold that you all are facing. First off, I hope all of your all's plants survived and made it through the snow and you're starting to warm up. We're a little farther east, a little further south, so I think we got it about a couple days after you all. So last night wasn't too bad. We got down to, I think, 34-ish degrees. We've been there throughout this winter. But it usually warms back up during the day. Today we're only gonna hit 40, and tonight we're gonna hit 28. So one thing that makes me happy is the heater was on, and look at that thing sweat. You can just tell it's hotter in there than it is out here, and that is what you want to see. Oh, it's so nice in here. I did not lock myself out. All right, let's check out our temperature gauge here and see what we're at. So we are at 41. And so that's a good thing, because the temperature gauge is there. I put the heater on the ground down there just to try to help out all the plants, because the heat will rise, so that'll help cover a little bit more area. But you can obviously tell overall the greenhouse itself is warmer than it is outside. But again, like I mentioned, last night wasn't our bad night. Tonight is. We're gonna get down really cold, so I am a little nervous, I'm not gonna lie. We got a lot of plants in here. It's actually more than we can even take into our house. And we have the farmer's market this Thursday, which is when you all are seeing this video. So hopefully everything survived when you're watching. We're able to take our plant starts to there, and they're not all frozen and frostbit. But I'm actually gonna leave that heater on in this greenhouse all day probably to get it nice and warm. So one thing that we got going on here is we knew that this cold was going to come. That's why nothing that is not frost hardy is not outside. A lot of people have asked about potatoes though. Can potatoes handle it? And the question is, or the answer to that is yes. Potatoes are frost hardy. They really don't like the freeze. However, the one thing to remember is it's a root vegetable. So the tops might die back, but your potatoes are gonna send new shoots up, new fresh shoots to survive. Last year we had the same thing happen. They got frostbit, they got all nice and soft. They died off and they grew right back up in like a matter of a couple days. And we had a great potato harvest. So don't freak out too much over your potatoes. It's hard to tell, but now it's snowing. What do you think, Ray Ray?
I love it.
You love it? Okay, while Mother Nature is out there doing crazy things, it's actually kind of beneficial because it forces us to be inside.
That is true.
And sometimes it's a really good thing because we needed to get some stuff done, like a surprise that you all will see at the end of this video for you all to go do right after this. We finally was able to get something done because we were inside the house, so stay tuned. But we wanted to talk about farmers market. That's a big thing that I think homesteaders, small farmers, big farmers, really everybody, starts having in their back of their mind that they want to get into. Now, farmers market to us, I almost feel like it's the same for everyone. No one goes into the farmers market thinking they're going to come out millionaires. Right. Like nobody thinks they're going to be bringing in just loads and loads of profit.
I wouldn't even call it like a supplemental income.
Yeah, I mean, it does help, right? Like, grab the kids some food on the way home, maybe some chicken feed, and maybe we'll be pleasantly surprised. We don't know because our first day is while you're watching this. However, the biggest thing in our opinion for the farmers market is to get to know our community.
Yes, so this is actually our first time. And you might be thinking, like, we should have already done this years ago. And we actually had no interest in it. We didn't want to do it, and to me it felt overwhelming because there was so many rules and regulations. hoops you have to jump through. And,
which we're going to get in detail with.
Yeah, and at our old house, for those who followed us before, it wasn't really possible and wasn't really something we wanted to dive into. But now that we're
And
here,
it was really far from our house.
yes, and
it was
would
a
have
hike.
been like an ordeal.
Yeah.
Now that we're here, it is literally around the corner, and we're in a smaller town. Yeah, we just want to get out and meet our community, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I think it's going to be a way to meet other farms and the people that come. Just meet our neighbors, meet the community, get the kids, some friends, venturing out, and just mainly that. I mean, the income will be nice if we make anything, but if we don't, it's more beneficial to us to just meet the community.
Absolutely. And you all know our long-term goal of starting to have classes and events and things on our farm here. We have built an online community.
Mm-hmm.
We love every single one of you all, but if we actually want to start doing in-person stuff on our farm, different classes of gardening, animals, preserving, we need to get to know people that are close to us.
Right.
And so that's why it's really important for us to start building that community like we've done digitally, also in person. So that's what I think we're the most excited about, because it does give us a step closer to that long-term goal that we're thinking of.
Yeah.
All right, it's show and tell time. So this is some of the stuff. We're gonna show you some things that we've gotten created. So Jen did this on her Cricut.
So we got the Kentucky Proud sign because we are Kentucky Proud members. And then you could buy one that left space to personalize. So I did this on my Cricut. It says Stivers Homestead, farm to table, with a little cucumber.
How cute is that?
Cute. We're gonna put it at our table.
So that sign obviously is something that is not a necessity. You don't have to have a sign. However, you want people to know your name. But what you do have to have, at least in our state of Kentucky, is this stuff. So first off is product, straight up product, right? You gotta have something that you're taking there. Well, our biggest things that we're gonna be bringing in is plant starts and then produce, eggs, different things like that. Stuff we can't ship to you all.
Bread.
Bread, baking goods. And plants species specifically, when it's just a tomato plant, it's hard to explain to someone in words what it is that tomato is going to produce. So she had the great idea to do this.
So we printed out pictures of all of our tomato starts that we're going to be taking. This is just the first round. And then we laminated them and labeled them. And that way when people see the plant starts, we'll have this picture in front of it and they can know what kind of tomato it is and not have to, be confused and be like, what is this? Because most of these are heirlooms. And while a lot of people love heirlooms, there's also a lot of people who don't really know what heirlooms is and they don't know these varieties. So that's going to be really cool. So we recently became an official LLC, which is something that we also held off on because we didn't really understand it. At least I didn't understand the benefits and why. But now that we're selling more stuff and kind of inviting people into our lives more, we wanted to go ahead and get official and just kind of cover our backs for anything that may come about.
I'm glad you got the chair. I'm just on my knees here. So real quick before she gets into the certificates and stuff that she got, the reason we did choose an LLC, the number one reason for an LLC is it separates your regular life and your regular finances with your business finances. So say, God forbid, we really hope this never happens, but you get sued.
Right.
If you got sued for a product that you sold, if you don't have an LLC and all of your funds are together, everything's up for grabs. So in the lawsuit, it could be your home that you live in. It could be every finance that you have. With your LLC and you're keeping that separate, it's your LLC that can be sued, not you personally. So it's kind of, never gonna say never, but that's what would be on like the law document. So that would protect your personal items, and then only thing that would be vulnerable would be your business finances and assets. So that's the key factor, and when we're starting to have more and more folks, buying our things, which is a promising thing, there's a chance you run across somebody that isn't very happy.
And not only for the farmer's market, that's for Etsy, that's for everything, because we have so many different bases of incomes, which is incredible, but you just want to make sure that you cover everything. Yeah,
and funny enough, actually having them separate actually makes tax time a little bit easier, and it helps your good buddy Uncle Sam. All right, now certificates.
Yes, so first we had to get our food handler's permit, which I actually did online. I tried to do it locally through our health department, but that was like trying to pull teeth from a lion. So I went online and you can actually do the whole thing, and it was really cool. We are also Kentucky Proud and Appalachia Proud, which we talked about, which is just our state agricultural program. And that just kind of lets people know that when they see those things like our sign and our stickers, then that lets them know we're certified by the state of Kentucky. And that, you know, it just kind of makes you feel more comfortable and makes you feel good. And it's so easy. There's like nothing you have to even do for that. You don't have to jump through a bunch of hoops.
It's a sense of safety and security when a person goes through a grocery store or something and they see that sticker.
Yeah.
Hopefully your state has something similar. But it's a big deal here. Like when you're at a market, if you see a product that doesn't have a Kentucky Proud or Appalachian Proud sticker and one that does, they're always going to grab the one with the sticker.
Yeah. And it lets them know that it was made and grown here in this state. Yep. And everybody wants to buy local, so that's cool.
Yeah, it's really neat.
So I also got my food processing, my home processor certificate, which was difficult but worth it. It took some time. But this means that I can sell stuff that we make and grow here, like breads and candies or pies, stuff like that. So, you know, you don't have to have those things, but if somebody wanted to say something, you could say, well, here's my certificate, and you cannot come at me, basically.
Back up.
I'm certified.
Back off, Karen.
I also have my microprocessor certificate, so I have all my recipes that have been approved by the University of Kentucky. So I can sell zesty salsa, which these are canned goods, like canned goods that we have grown and canned, and we can now sell them at the market. We can do tomato sauce, dill pickles, pepper jelly, okra pickles, green beans, dilly beans, candied jalapenos, and bread and butter pickles. So that's really cool, and we can add to that if we want to later on, but those were just like the first 9 recipes that we wanted to get going. We also have a freestanding chalkboard coming from Amazon. It'll be here tomorrow, hopefully in time. And we can write like our products on it and our prices, and we have these cute little chalk markers that we're going to use. So I don't know,
lot cash box.
Yeah, just the little things to make it look more appealing and make us look approachable.
Yeah, and so we're excited. We're really excited about doing this.
Also nervous.
Also a little nervous. But I wanted to like touch base on all those certificates she just showed you. I don't want you to feel overwhelmed by it. We were for the longest time like, that is too much that you all need from us. Well, take off that timeline. Just go ahead and start getting these things because they're important to have anyways. You can usually contact your extension office and they'll kind of give you like a list of all this stuff and contacts, and that's kind of your first place to go to. The health department, definitely for the food handler's permit, all those things, like you just start racking them up, start getting them going. The first thing that we got was our Kentucky Proud.
Yeah.
That was the first thing that we tried to get. Got approved for it, and then just kept trickling down.
Yeah,
from there.
we really started getting this stuff like a year to a year and a half ago, and it didn't take that long. It was just, we took it slowly and didn't want to overwhelm ourselves, and now somehow here we are, ready for market.
Right, a day before market happens. But I mean, it's those things, the paperwork stuff. I know if you are anything like us, you don't want to deal with any of that. You want to go out there and farm. You want to do the farm stuff. You don't want to sit in here and do the paperwork stuff, I call it. But it needs to be done. It has to be done. So take you to the nice, cold, cloudy day to get it done.
Yep.
All right. So that's it for the farmer's market. We just wanted to make sure that any of you all interested in getting into it, go through it with us. Stay tuned for the next video after Friday Night Lights because we couldn't film at the market because we had to give you all this video. So the next video will actually show us at the market, and we'll try to get some clips and stuff of our setup and just talk about how it went.
Yeah, and I think we might meet some of you there too.
Yeah.
A few people have said that they might stop by, so that'll be really cool.
Yeah, I mean, you're more than welcome to stop by. It's a public place. It's not us behind our gate.
Right.
It is the Knox County Farmers Market in Kentucky. So Knox County Farmers Market. Look it up. You'll find the address, and you can come on out. We'll be there every Thursday.
Yep.
So we told you what? You really got tickled.
No.
Okay. LLs. So anyways, we told you there was a little bit of a surprise at the end of this video. It's not like a huge surprise or anything, but it's a pretty big deal. A lot of y'all asked for it, and we like to do it on the video because you all deserve first dibs on this action. So we do have, right now, like as you're hearing me speak, calendula salve available. We haven't got the labels on it because we just made these. We'll get those on.
And there's not as many this time. There's about half.
Yep. Because
we went on our anniversary and all that fun stuff. So there's half the amount. So if you want one, go quickly.
That's right. And we had to do half it because we got comfrey going. So on the next one, you'll get comfrey salve along with calendula salve, which will be super exciting. We'll talk about that in a minute. So besides calendula, we also have goat's milk soap available again.
So we have lemongrass.
Good luck.
Whatever.
Yeah,
We have
it's lemongrass. Just remember, it's all on there.
Lavender. Lemon cedarwood, orange.
Let me see lemon cedarwood.
Eucalyptus, peppermint, and rosemary.
Lemon cedarwood is it's the best.
It's a good scent for women and men, but it's really good for men because it's not fruity smelling and girly smelling, and it smells really, really good.
Yeah, so we did 7 sleeves of every single one, so each scent should have 10. Yes. I know that's not a lot, but it's 70 total soaps. It's what us two can rock and roll. So you all, yeah, right. We need to start hiring some folks around here. But those things will not be leaving digitally. Yeah. We will continue to be selling those on our Etsy store, which the Etsy will be linked down below. I'll even pin it on the comments if you can't find it. So just go down in the comments, leave us a comment while you're there. Yeah. But we are not taking that stuff to market. No. That stuff will continue to be available to you all because you all sell it out as it is. Yes. So the stuff that we're going to be taking, like I said, is the things that we have an overabundance of. And that'll be plant starts, eggs, perishables, produce, because once we get in produce time, we'll have way more than we need to can. Yeah. And that's the stuff that we'll be taking. So hope you all enjoy it.
Yes. So the Etsy store is open. Go get that stuff. The soaps or the salves will not last long, but there will be comfrey salve next week, so that's exciting. A lot of people ask what that is. It's for joint pain, arthritis pain, any kind of like broken bone. It does not heal your bone, but it does help with the pain. You can use it for so many things, but it is a miracle worker, just like the calendula salve. We use it so much for soreness, pulled muscle, stuff like that. It's amazing.
Cold days like this, when your knee starts acting up again, like it's wintertime, rub a little bit of that on there. It's fantastic stuff. But that is going to be our first cutting. It is only going to have about 60 in it. But as the summer goes and our comfrey outside starts really taking off, we'll have more just like we do calendula. Yeah. So you all be ready. Go get this stuff now, and then we'll just continue to pump it out to you the weeks coming. Yeah.
And I want to add, I hope you all, I hope you don't think why in the world do they make so little, or why don't they make more? And the truth is because it is truly from our farm, and it's just the two of us. We have to wait on these things to be ready. If we mass produce it, would it still be as good? Probably not. So that's why it takes so long. I know it's frustrating for y'all. It's frustrating for us too, but it's just kind of part of the process when you are literally getting the stuff from your farm.
Yeah, completely farm fresh. You have to go with what's in stock at the time. And comfrey is just now getting back in. Goat's milk's just now getting back in. So it's all stuff we can start ramping up, and then now y'all can point the finger at us and be like, y'all need to hire some people. Because I know y'all got plenty, so where you at? So yeah, when it's summertime, you're probably right. Yeah. But that is a good point.
Yeah. I'm sweating. Lights. Yeah. So many lights in here.
Oh, speaking of lights. So the grow station's back in action. We had to we play this real late with our squash and our cucumbers and zucchinis, pumpkins, okra, blah, 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 all that good stuff. We start those really, really late in the game because they pop up so fast. All we want is them to go up, get a little bitty root ball, and then we'll put them in the ground. So that's why we are so fluorescent this evening.
Yes, and it's warm.
It is very warm. Well, we talked to you all about how we don't like paperwork days, and unfortunately, this kind of felt like a paperwork video, so we're sorry about that, but it's important stuff. It's things that if you're new and wanting to get into this, you need to know.
I mean, we had so many questions going into it, and we didn't really have anybody to ask. So, we just want to be there in case anybody wants to know the nitty-gritty and stuff like that, and be able to have that resource.
Yeah, and I'm going to have her commit me to this. All the certificates that we got, the titles, because I'm sure y'all probably, what was that she said? Yeah. I'll write that down in the description. Just Google it and put your state.
Yeah, and it might not apply to your state, but some does.
Right, and it could be called a different name. But that'll at least let you figure out and get you somewhere to start from us. And so I'll have that down in the description. Etsy will be in the description as well. And other than that, I think that's it for today.
And if you have any more questions, ask us. We'll be sure to say how it goes, but there might be something we didn't think of. And just ask us.
Yeah, and throw them down in the comments too. We're in there quite often, so it's a lot easier for us to find. We'll happily answer, and others in your area might be down there, so they might be able to answer the questions for us too.
All right.
We love you.
We love you.
Oh, don't forget to subscribe.
Okay, till the next one.
Bye.